question here is, what is the personnel level of support to manage xMatters? So maybe we can back up, and I think that's sort of ongoing support question, but just to get this product installed, I think you have some different options that range from probably 1 week to several weeks to get it up and running. Is that right?
Yes. I mean, our typical implementation with a single integration such as Remedy is typically around 3 to 4 weeks, okay, to get it up and going. What we find is the ongoing support is typically the same person that's doing Remedy or whatever product you've got involved. Okay, so it's not a full person at all. Once it's up and running, and once you've got data synchronized with people, devices, groups, and the thing going, you typically are not going to touch it. It's going to be fine because it is self-service, allowing people to define their own, managers can define their own people, managers can define groups and change escalations on their own. So typically there's not a lot of maintenance once it's up and running. Right.
And here's a question, another related, is xMatters synced up to Microsoft Active Directory?
It can. It's your choice.
Okay.
Typically, I would say 95% of our customers sync up with Active Directory or LDAP or some kind of a system like that, because then that gives you the ability to notify people that may not be in Remedy, right? Your end users and other people that may not be defined within Remedy, because we'll synchronize with Remedy for sure. Okay, but we may have multiple sources. Active Directory can be one of those.
Okay, you just have to make sure Active Directory is accurate. I would guess, right?
Of course, and it usually isn't 100% accurate, but it's probably close enough.
Okay. Another question is how is this priced? Is it a software license? Is it per user? How does that work?
It is licensed per user. Both the on-demand and the on-premises are the same, so it's by user per month. And if you need any kind of pricing, you can get a hold of Dick and the folks at RightStar, and they can help you with that offline. Okay.
Next question here is any DHS, which would be Department of Homeland Security. Do you know if you have any DHS users as customers?
I know we have several government agencies that are our customers. We would probably need to dig into that and get back to you directly, so we can give you those that contact information.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it certainly seems like a good fit for DHS. And then another question here is, what data is provided to the end user?
The data provided to the end user is defined by you. Okay, so if you want to provide the data like I showed earlier, the whole ticket information, that's great. That's what happens out of the box. If you don't want to provide that and you just want to say, hey, there's something going on, it's a high severity, you need to log in or call in or do whatever, you can do that as well. So it's up to you on how much data gets shown to the person. The examples that I showed in the demo kind of gives you an idea of what we do out of the box. If I back up here a little bit, you'll see it right. It kind of scrolls, so you're not going to see all of it. But, there's kind of a good idea of what we do out of the box with Remedy. But if you didn't want one of those fields, or you want 3 other fields or custom fields, they can be changed during implementation by RightStar.
Okay. And by the way, is that a native application that's on that iPhone, or
nope?
Nope.
There's nothing installed on the device at all. What you're looking at is an email in this case. An SMS message would be a little bit more boring, like the one I showed you on my phone. But there's no application needed on the device at all.
Okay, which means it'll work with any type of iPhone, any type of cell phone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's see here. Next question. What customer level usually gets involved with the create the call out tree? That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's all over the map. It depends on what you're doing, right? It could be a manager of nurses at a hospital needs to go find certain nurses, or it could be an executive like I showed in the conference call, or it could be a help desk person that comes in and says, hey, I want to kick off a notification to my end users about a facility situation, about a power outage that's happening right now in my Dallas data center. And again, this would be permissioned out for certain people. So we have people from actually down to security guards, where you've got a security guard that's allowed access to a panel with a couple of fields and a button where they can kick off notifications as well. So it's completely up to you. This is permissioned out at the person level, so you can have individuals, groups, or everybody have access to certain panels. Okay? Completely configurable.
Okay. Next question is any business and cost justification data available? So I guess if you ROI case study, I guess would be the question then.
Absolutely. We've got a number of those, and again, RightStar can work with you on that. The ROI for ITSM, for Remedy, is very, very easy. I kind of can cover that in about 30 seconds here. How many tickets do you have per day, per week, per month? Come up with that number. How long does it take for people to be assigned to that ticket? Is it on average 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Okay. Take that, and how much time does it take for a human to find somebody to get assigned to that ticket? If you're calling people or manually doing notifications, how much time is that? Multiply that out, because that's all gone. We're going to automate 100% of that and hunt people down automatically. They're going to be assigned to the ticket quicker, and there's no human intervention. So we've actually had people justify the cost of the product just on that alone, and that's just the first piece of the process.
Right. Yeah, and that doesn't even consider. A lot of times you'll give this assignment to a Remedy developer, and they'll say, well, it doesn't do that in Remedy out of the box, but, give me 3 or 4 weeks and I can get it up and running. Well, those 3 or 4 weeks are going to be very expensive, typically. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Let's see what else is here. This is somewhat related to how is the number of users calculated for license? I guess end users, is that what he's asking?
It's number of users to be notified. Okay,
I see.
So we license by the number of users to be notified. It's not a concurrent license or anything like that. So if you have 200 people in IT that need to be notified and interact two-way, that's 200 licenses. Okay. We also do have a second kind of user, and that's licensed much less expensive, and that's what we call an informational user. So if you're going to notify 200 IT people that need to interact with tickets, that's the 200 full users. Beyond that, let's say I have 20,000 employees that may need to know about something. That's 20,000 what we call low-use users, and they're priced differently. They're one-way notifications, informational only. So two buckets, okay?
Okay. And this looks like it could be our last question. Can xMatters be configured to different message notifications? For example, could we have every support group have different message text that is sent to them?
Yes, you could. You could. Typically what we're going to do is we're gathering the data out of Remedy in pieces, so you can absolutely put together the different kind of messages. And to show you a little bit about that without going too deep here, I'm going to bring up that area over here where I can define some of that. So here's a message text, okay, if I want to put together an email. Here's what the email message would look like, and I can have a logo, and I can have colors, and I can drag and drop fields and things. So it is pretty straightforward to define your message text, your phone call, things like that. You could do that. It's obviously going to be a little bit of customization to do something different for different groups. What we find most of the time is there's two main buckets. One is the guys responsible for fixing the problem. They're going to get all the technical details. The second one is the subscribed people. Those are the people that need an informational notification, and I may not want to give them all the technical details. I probably want to format their message a little bit different. Okay, so out of the box, we do that for sure. You've got at least two buckets, a technical and a informational.